What's up, guys? Welcome to Chasing Pelagics. My name is Jeff, and this is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, July 21st. Quick look at our weather here. We've got some steady temps right here through summer, and right now the actual weather is a little bit unpredictable, and unfortunately, this 10-day doesn't really tell the whole story. We've had a lot of cloud cover, marine layer, that typical June gloom. Has lasted now all the way through the end of July. There is still June bugs in the air. I think they're confused. But today it definitely changed a little bit. There's definitely a lot more tropical moisture in the air, and I don't really believe what I'm seeing on here. I definitely think there's probably a chance of thunderstorms. We kind of saw the same pattern last week. We had the tropical moisture come up. And yeah, we got some thunderstorms off San Clemente, and so we'll see what happens. So make sure you follow your marine forecasts and listen to your weather band. And if you have radar, you can use your radar to check out where storm cells are if you need to move around them to make yourself safe on the water. So be advised of that. As far as who is going to be on the water this weekend, that is going to be a good question. This is our current wind model here from windy.com. And, this is one of those wind patterns that it changed on us, and it's looking pretty nasty. So I thought I'd play this up and let it run through here. But as you can tell, getting into Friday here, this is Friday at about noon. Not looking great. And you can tell we're going to have some serious northwest swell coming up. More eddy condition based on this right here going into Saturday, and 22 knots, man. That's ripping. So we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. But Sunday, more eddy condition, a little bit more onshore flow, and then back to northwest again. So we'll just kind of see how this plays out, guys. But this overcast stuff has been driving me crazy. This winds won't quit, and here we go. The La Nina forecast just ramped up this month, so they're saying that it could be a three-peat La Nina. Haven't seen that since the 50s. So if that happens again, you're talking another dry winter, drought, not a lot of rain, and pretty much the exact copy of the last 2 years of what we've been seeing as far as fishing conditions, which has been pretty good for bluefin. I'm not going to lie. I don't know about for on land. I think we could probably use some more rain with the way things are going. But yeah, 66% through October, December, and then we start to come to a more favorable neutral by February, March. But I mean, this far out, who really knows? So I'll kind of see how things play out here, but really interesting, We'll see what happens. But more or less, here is our marine forecast currently. Tonight looks beautiful out there, not gonna lie. Tomorrow looks pretty nice as well. And then into Thursday night, inshore looks okay. We do have a south swell in the water. It's a little tricky for some of these harbor entrances like Oceanside. That's pretty shallow. So on a low tide, big swell, you can get some big rollers going through the harbor entrance. So be careful of that. But outside, this really the 30 to 60 mile nautical miles out to San Clemente Island. This is where things really change a lot. We got this west 2 to 4 Friday, west 2 to 3 foot 6 seconds. That's gonna be pretty nasty for a private boater Thursday night. Saturday, west 3 to 4 foot, gust to 15. Saturday night, now we got a northwest 4 to 5 and a long period south swell. That's going to be pretty nasty, and 20 knots on top. And this is going to last through Monday and into next week. So private boaters this weekend, be careful, choose wisely. All right, now we finally got a little peek at our charts after a week of overcast, guys. They're not perfect, but we got a 3-day chart, and you can kind of tell what's happening here with the water temps. So 70 degrees is the orange stuff, and it's got to be a darker reddish to get to 72. So definitely have some interesting lines out here. And although it looks interesting, I don't think any of it really matters in about a day or two because it's all going to get turned over with the wind again. So same thing kind of goes for the chloro chart. So if you're going out here Thursday, Friday, maybe you can really use this stuff to your advantage here, at least on the chart. But come Saturday, it's like a reset button. So we'll see what it looks like. But the most interesting thing I really like is I like this temp break here coming from, let's call it the corner, down, sense over to an to the cross. And then if you want to pair that up here with the chloro chart, pretty much same pattern right here, right? So this is the stuff that I look for when I'm trying to track down predators. So if yesterday's dope wasn't that great, definitely rely on looking at stuff like this. I think it's all really interesting. Usually this is where you're going to find predators in general. Now, as far as the fishing goes, let's switch back to the charts here. We'll start with SBI and St. Nick Island. There's been a pretty good little run of sea bass and yellowtail for the later morning bite. Hit or miss, you got to be in the right spot. So the guys that know this stuff, they can fish it. But yeah, it's 3 is the limit now. So have at it, boys. If you can get there with the right conditions, might be worth a good shot. Catalina Island has been the typical Catalina Island. Tough fishing for yellowtail. There's a couple around, but overall not really great. Too much pressure. That's the usual story with Catalina. But there is some squid on the backside. If you want to mess around with that, you can make some. I don't know if the carnage will be there, but it'll take a little less work off your hands to do. But there is squid available on the backside if you want to make it. Coming down south, San Clemente Island finally turned on, man. It's seems pretty steady this week. We've had really good yellowtail fishing on the front side of the island. Yeah, pretty much from White Rock down. It's pretty good yellowtail fishing. Backside, the dunes has still been going off on the sea bass. Really incredible sea bass fishing at San Clemente Island. Really haven't seen like this in a long time. And that's what a La Nina will do for you. But there's a bunch of commercial guys fishing squid here at the dunes, Hole in the Rock area. So look out for them. Make sure you give them a little bit of room too. But there is some sea bass around to be caught. And I guess we can talk about the bluefin, man. We had a really good showing over the last week or so, from the 499 to the Osborne, to 711, the Snail. Basically, this triangle of fun zone here was really giving us a really good foam show. And guys are having some really good luck, mainly trolling plug lures like Mad Max, the Yozuri Bonita, or spreader bars. And mainly, I think people are just lazy. They really don't want to put up a kite, but which is fine. Do whatever is easy, and if you're still getting the same results, go for it. But yeah, trolling for bluefin. It's really been working out really well this year. Who would have thought 3 years ago someone told you, oh yeah, we're going to be trolling for bluefin 3 years from now. We wouldn't even worry about the kite. Yeah, and no one would ever believe you. But here we are. So this fish didn't really show up today. There's a little bit seen a little bit closer here on the corner, but overall dramatically slowed down. And with this wind, you're going to get a reset. And we'll see whether these fish hang out closer to the island after this windstorm, or if they want to make their way north. We'll see what happens here. But coming down south, this kind of inner bank water, we haven't seen any like real game fish as far as tuna wise. There's mixed kelp patties here and there, some with Dorado. This is like a repeat of last year. We had a really good Dorado fishing, lots of good numbers. So if you find a patty in here, it's going to be really, really mixed results up here. Not a lot of that up here. So sparse kelp patty fishing, but there's a chance you can stumble upon one. So keep the eyes open. Coming down south, man, it's aquarium fishing lately. With these mixed water temps, things are all really mixed up. This wind is it's kind of tore things up. And nothing like normally normal summertime, you get a little bit of northwest wind. We kind of get a dividing line of water temps like we had 3 weeks ago. These fish settle in on the banks, and we can really attack them. And once they're settled in, we get some pretty good steady fishing in the same areas, and that has not happened the last month. And that's why I think a lot of people are really frustrated with the fishing. It's just different. It's something you got to adapt to. So instead of sitting out here on Tanner Bank with a kite all day, here we are. We're trolling and covering ground around foamers that don't want to cooperate with a jig or a popper cast on them. We're having a lot better luck moving and being around them and sort of driving over the top of them. So you just got to change your game plan to what the fish are doing. And this year it seems like the guys that are covering a lot of ground are having a lot more luck catching fish than just being parked in a parking lot of boats and hoping for one bite on the kite. So different type of style of fishing this year with the way that the activity has been going. But coming down south here, man, it's just a really mixed bag. We still have lots of really good kelp patty fishing in this area. Coronado Islands have had mixed yellowtail fishing. They're there. Just you got to find a good, clean conditions to work with, and if they're there, it's going to work. Also heard there's a lot of barracuda around, so you might want to stick to trolling mackerel instead of sardines or mackerel flavor diving lure like a Rapala 30 mag or DTX minnow. Those all kind of work the same. But it's got to be mackerel, and that'll help you out with the bycatch. Also, lots of guys are getting their bad necks that they paid $200 for eaten by sharks. So don't overpay for your lures there. They will attack a giant 14-ounce lure if it looks healthy. So keep that in mind as well. Moving down south, I like this break. I haven't heard of anybody really checking it out. People are kind of staying close to home, which is fine. I get it with the gas. Upper hidden, lower hidden. I think you have a better chance at yellowfin here. We'll see what happens with that. The guys down south, Bonnet Bank, and right below the upper finger here, have still had some like mixed bluefin and yellowfin mixed in together. Like I said, we get that 70 degree water. They tend to get mixed in there. 72 and up, the bluefin usually peace out. But we got a little pocket of bluefin in here mixed in with yellowfin. And these guys are on it every day. They have not had any trouble. They're trolling a lot. If you're going to be working these zones and you're going to be trolling, I suggest a multiple spread, right? So like troll a spreader bar or some Mad Max for bluefin, and then troll some feathers for yellowfin or Dorado, and that way you can kind of target multiple species. A Dorado is not going to fit a 14 ounce plug lure in its mouth. Just the fish isn't built for that. So you got to go with something a little bit smaller, a little bit more flashy. So like just like a short skirted feather or a machine style lure with a skirt is going to be just fine. So something like that. But mix up the colors. Usually gray sky, darker colors, purples, grays, darker silvers, and then bright sky, bright colors, bright pinks, bright yellows, bright greens. That's the pattern that you want to match. So that's it for this week, guys. I will be on the water, but I'm going to be about 400 miles south at Cedros. So I'm going to check out the island for the first time. Hopefully put a good hurting on the yellowtail, and we'll see what happens. But that's it for this week, guys. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out our website and online store at chasingpelagics.com. And make sure you share the stoke.